brilliant. Thank you for having me. It's nice to be here. My name's Jake. I'm from Newcastle, or as it's briefly renamed for marketing purposes, Sports Direct upon Tyne. It's nice to be here. I still live in Newcastle with my girlfriend, who's real and exists. It's true, her name's Jane, my name's Jake, so our couple name, when you put us together, is just Jane, actually. Shit for me, that's... thing you need to know about me is that I'm a disabled man. I'm partially blind, or partially sighted, depending on your outlook on life. So I'm partially blind. My glasses are always half empty. Been blind since I was born in 1993. That's when I was born. I'm 31 years old, despite the fact I've got the body of a 52-year-old GP. But I think I'm quite sexy, though, right? I think I'm quite sexy for a dad. Sad thing is, not dad. Well, the first time she slept with me, my girlfriend actually, she said to me, Jake, don't worry about getting me pregnant, because infertility runs in my family. And I said, how? A lot of people think that blind people can't have sex, actually. That's a weird thing that I found out. People think blind people aren't very good at sex. It's actually wrong. The opposite is true. Blind people are great at sex. Because if you think about it, the clitoris is just braille. There's one dot in braille is G. That's why they call it a G-spot. I don't know what this action is, by the way. It's not my technique. But there are things I can't do because of my eyesight. Can't drive, for example. Not legally allowed to drive. I did a driving test, that's how I know that. Because they say, don't they, that you can hit up to 15 minors and still pass your test. I ran over one, banned for life, apparently. I can't drive, loads of other things I can't do. Can't do sports, for example. I wasn't allowed to do sports until I was a bit older, when I was a teenager. My mum found a club for blind kids to do sports together. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen blind sports. Don't worry, we haven't. But I would absolutely recommend it. Like, watch the blind football at the Paralympics. It's absolutely amazing. Overcoming adversity, top of their level sporting achievement. It's brilliant. But I would also recommend that you watch amateur blind sports. Because take it from me, Birmingham, it is fucking hilarious. Genuinely, one of the sports I had to do at blind sports camp when I was 15 was blind ultimate frisbee. That's not even a sport if it's got vision, right? I genuinely involved a guide dog catching a frisbee in its mouth. It was a beautiful sight, I imagine. Another sport I had to do, blind fencing. Think about that for 2 seconds. Blind sword fighting, because it genuinely involved the instructor at one point, unironically using the phrase, careful or you'll have someone's eye out with that. Ridiculous blind fencing, yeah. My mum came to pick me up after my first day at blind sports camp. She was like, Jake, what was it like to get to do sports with other kids for the first time? Did you feel like you fit in? And I said, to be honest, ma'am, no. Because all the other kids there are more blind than me. And they've started bullying me for being able to see a bit. They're calling me Two Eyes. It's very depressing, ma'am. She was like, don't worry, Jake, I'll find you another club for blind kids to do sports together in the Newcastle area. And I was like, aye, because there's bloody tons of them about. I said, even if you found another club would have the same problem, ma'am. There'd be kids there that are more blind than me. Like at the club I went to, one of the kids had a guide dog, and I was jealous that this kid had a guide dog, because I'm not blind enough to need a guide dog, right? I've got a white cane that I use sometimes, but I don't need a guide dog. But rather than explain to me, like a responsible parent, that it's not a privilege to have a guide dog, and even if you need them, they're quite hard to get a hold of, because the system's underfunded, by the way. I'm not trying to suggest that blind people are running around trying to catch them. They're not Pokemon. But rather than explain that to me, what my mum did to help me fit in, this was her Geordie solution. She went upstairs, got one of my brother's old high-vis jackets, and then just sellotaped that round our Jack Russell. She was like, take that in, Jake, no one will notice. To be fair, none of them did. When I was growing up, my favourite blind character in fiction was Daredevil, the superhero. He's a blind superhero who works in law during the day. Because of that, I wanted to become a lawyer, so I got a job in law when I left university, and I worked in law for 5 years, and then I left that job because it had a really bad effect on my mental health, and also I sent £30,000 to the wrong party in a divorce. That's true. And when she fired me, my boss, Nicola, I nearly gave you her full name then, Birmingham. No, this is going on BBC One, can't do that. The law firm was based in York, it doesn't matter. When she fired me, Nicola, she was like, Jake, we're not just firing you because of the thing with the divorce, it's also because you're difficult to work with, you're pedantic, and no one likes having you in the office. I know, right? And then she went, you'll never work in this town again. And then I said, actually, it's got a cathedral, so it's a city. I'll be Jake Donaldson. See you soon. Bye-bye.